everybody, welcome to another episode of the magnificent Nick and Knarf, the dynamic duo living in Tucson, outside of Tucson. And we are glad you're here to join us today for another episode of some epic music. And today we are featuring the embodiment of the one album wonder, the supergroup that lasted for one album, 1 year, one set of tours, and then broke up. It is Blindfaith.
And you got to admit that title, whoever thought of that title, Blindfaith, what a great name for a group.
Absolutely. When you think of the great band names, Blindfaith is one of the best. You know, I mean, I like titles like Humble Pie. I always thought was a great name, but Blindfaith is right up there with them. But Blindfaith formed in 1969 and ended in 1969, formed by became one of the most serendipitous supergroups you'd ever imagine. Steve Winwood, who joined after the breakup of Traffic, Eric Clapton, and Ginger Baker, who both joined after the breakup of Cream, and then they were joined by Ric Grech from a band called The Family, who stayed with them on this album and then followed Steve Winwood off afterward to work with Traffic, and then go on to perform a lot of solo work and with other bands. So a dynamic group that came together to play and make one incredible, memorable album.
Their maiden voyage was playing in front of 100,000 people in Hyde Park in London.
England. And apparently they said that they didn't have enough material, so they kept going back to playing Traffic and Cream songs, which he said that really excited all the audience, but that the band was kind of a little bit disheartened from
and what was really
thing.
cool, we found out that Clapton wanted to play at Woodstock, but the others outvoted him.
That's right. That was the year of Woodstock, and he wanted the band to play at Woodstock, and they said, no, they didn't want to do it. Could you imagine what that concert would have been like with Blindfaith there?
Jeez.
And immediately after the band broke up, Winwood went right back with Traffic. They reformed again after Dave Mason left. Ric Grech joined them along with some of the original members. Clapton went on and played with Delaney and Bonnie and friends who were on the tours with them. He apparently formed a real strong relationship with Delaney and Bonnie. And then some of the members of Delaney and Bonnie, people who came in and went once in a while, were guys like Duane Allman, Greg Allman, Rita Coolidge. And then he left with Delaney and Bonnie members and formed Derek and the Dominoes and did another amazing one-hit album wonder. And then Ginger Baker broke off to form Ginger Baker's Air Force. So everybody went a different way after coming together and forming, making this tremendous album, touring, that very successful tour. But then the band just kind of decided to go different ways.
And I remember everybody bought this album and we listened to it ad nauseum. You know, we played it all the time, especially when we were, you know, kind of just laying low, turn the strobe lights on and just, you know, doing what we do, you know.
Turn on the lava lamp and light the incense and play it. And then obviously one thing is famous for this album is the notorious cover of the young lady you see on the cover,
11-year-old
girl who was pretty much shown topless on the original album, and they made a couple of different revisions of the album cover and removed it. And now I bought the deluxe edition that has the original album material remastered with a few other remastered songs, and then a second disc with some outtake jam sessions, which are really fantastic. And as you can see on the cover, they pretty much covered up in the controversial bits, the naughty bits.
I've got 3 daughters. I'd never let my daughter be on an album cover like that.
But album cover aside, this is maybe one of the finest albums in rock and roll history, top to bottom. Great stuff written by Steve Winwood, Eric Clapton, and some great material. And we're going to play 2 wonderful cuts from the album, and we'll get to them in just a second. But before we do, like always, we'd like to invite you to subscribe, like, and share. Hit that like icon for us to help spread the word. I'd love to have you a part of the tribe. We're caring for your ears, one ear at a time, and for all our subscribers.
My question is going to be, did you have a chance to see them when they made that 1 year tour? They ended up finishing on the West Coast and then going to Hawaii.
Going to Hawaii. That was their last concert in Hawaii in 1969, and they went
said
kaput.
aloha.
Aloha. So, but boy, what a great album this is. And we got two tasty cuts. The first one we're going to do is a Steve Winwood staple that everyone always remembers. You know, I heard an album, my friend had an album of Steve Winwood songs that only had Steve Winwood stuff from like his time with Spencer Davis and Traffic and Blindfaith. And I always thought this was from a different album, but this song is from the Blindfaith album. It is one of his finest songs. This is Sea of Joy. Here we go. Blindfaith, Sea of Joy.
Ginger.
Following the shadows of the skies, or are they only figments of my eyes? And I'm feeling close to where the races run, watching in our boats to set sail. Sea of joy. Once the door swings open into space, and I'm already waiting in disguise. Oh, is it just a thought between my eyes? Waiting in our boats to set sail. Sea of
And Lawrence Welk playing the violin.
Nice drum work. Understated, but nice.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Nick, there?
You know, I always remember I always said he should have sung that a half step lower, you know. It's just Scotty, just when he goes, rah, you know.
Steve Winwood writes some of the most intriguing, interesting songs you've ever heard.
His changes in there, like that when it got boom, 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 boom. I love that, you know. So, and then the violinist.
The violinist, Ric Grech. He's playing the violin. He does the bass and the violin. You know, we made this comment before. Doesn't a violin add so much to a rock song? I mean, so many examples of it, of a violin solo coming in, adding so much layering and depth and a totally different feel to a song, you know?
Yep. There's three instruments that do that for me. One is sax, one is violin, and the other one is I mean, when they come in, it makes it a completely different song. And it's violin here. It made
You know,
this
it almost
song
sounds
great.
too like Ginger Baker was playing the drums with his hands because it wasn't a real popping sound. Sometimes you can play the drums and it sounds like a
Wow.
you know, he might have been playing with his hand. I mean, that's just a guess. But, you know, God, and Clapton's tasty little subtle leads. This song is very understated. Really understated.
Yeah, you got to remember,
except for Winwood
was
screaming
what,
out
about
there.
20 years old
He was,
at that time.
he was probably in his early 20s, very early 20s, because he'd been playing
Yeah.
with Spencer Davis and Traffic already for the last 7-8 years, and he was 15 or 16 when he started, so I guess he was in his early 20s. But God, what a terrific song! What did you guys think of "Sea of Joy"? By
Do you remember that? I mean,
Blindfaith?
you remember listening to this album and just going, "Whoa!"
Outstanding. But here is the song that was maybe the most famous hit from the album, and it's one of the most memorable ones. Pretty much all acoustic, absolutely tasty, memorable. You're going to enjoy it again. If you hadn't heard in a while, get ready to enjoy it one more time. This is "Can't Find My Way Home."
Come down off your throne and leave your body alone. Somebody must change.
nice.
What a
God,
great
that is
song.
such a great friggin' song. You know, I think that's both Clapton and Winwood playing guitar. Because Steve Winwood plays guitar amazingly. So I wouldn't be surprised because there's no keyboard in there. And Winwood likes to play a lot of keyboard, but he played guitar brilliantly. And I bet you they both played acoustic.
And Ginger Baker played, I mean, he played so mellow. I mean, it was so nice the way
Understated,
Yes.
understated. And, you know, I was thinking, if it isn't his hands, maybe he's using the brushes. You know, that's probably
Could
what
be.
he was. He was using the brushes. But, I
Well,
mean,
there was congas also in here, right?
no, I think he was just playing the regular snare and the tom without the snare sound, you know?
Wow, okay.
You know, the thing is for me, I felt a foreshadowing too, or hearkening to the Traffic album, John Barleycorn.
Oh, good
John
one.
Barleycorn Must Die. The album just before Low Spark of High Heel Boys was very much acoustic and kind of minstrelly.
Well, that was Clapton singing, right?
No, that was Winwood.
Wow.
That's Steve Winwood singing. That's
I
Steve
liked
Winwood.
that. I thought that was Clapton.
Oh no, it's Steve. I mean, isn't that just? I mean, doesn't just this? This song is so nuanced and so emotive in its very subdued delivery. Really, don't you think it is?
Excellent. I think it was
God, what
really
a gorgeous,
well done.
gorgeous song. 2 songs off of this really amazing one and done album by this super duper group that unfortunately never gave us a
You're
second
sure
or a
that
third.
was Winwood?
That was Winwood. That is Winwood singing. You could tell Clapton's voice. I mean,
Yeah, I
if you
know,
heard
but I
Clapton-
thought since he was singing almost, he was singing so lightly from the start of the song, I thought, maybe that is
but
Clapton.
Winwood could sing that way too. I mean, but that was definitely Steve Winwood singing. But what did you guys think of Can't Find My Way Home? Isn't it just a gorgeous song off a really classic, iconic album with
song.
4 tremendous artists who never played together? Well, they did get together and
Speaking
play
of
before.
flute, I could have heard flute in that song. Can
Oh,
you imagine
yeah,
Ian
yeah.
Anderson playing flute to that song?
Oh, yeah. Would have been nice.
Man.
That's just a gorgeous song and a gorgeous album. Anyway, we really hope you enjoyed our presentation of the beautiful Blind Faith album, a tremendous, memorable rock anthem and iconic album. And if you did enjoy it and you haven't, please subscribe, like, and share. We'd love to have you be
And
a
don't
part of our
forget that
tribe.
wonderful line, we haven't had that blind faith here since 1969.
That's right. We haven't had that faith since then. But we got the faith. We keep the faith, and it ain't blind. We're keeping our eyes open and keep moving forward. And we're caring for your ears, one ear at a time. Thank you for joining us today, and all our subscribers. We love you, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys next time on Nick and
See you next time, guys.
Signing off.
God bless.
Ciao, Bumby. Peace out.